Do we miss Orlando?
In this video, we're gonna kind of rant a little bit about our thoughts about moving away from it, what our thoughts were living there, and just kind of go off the cuff and give you some brutally honest, real, raw opinion on what it was like making the move from there to Venice. And we're getting started right now.
If you're looking to move to the Venice, Sarasota, Englewood, Northport areas, Nokomis, and all areas in between, make sure to call, text, or email me. My information will be in the description box below. I'm a realtor here, and I hear from you guys every day, and I love it.
Phone number is 941-221-1897. So, do we miss Orlando?
I think that's a tough question.
It is a tough question, which is why I think this is going to be an interesting video. Let's just give our raw thoughts, though. Go ahead, you say what you think, and I'll say what I think.
Yeah, I think it's a yes and no for me, like 50-50. I do miss having all the options of a big city. If we wanted to go out to eat like some international cuisine, we had a handful of places to go. And also if we just wanted to, go shopping, we had the Orlando Premier outlet malls.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Yeah,
Mall at
Millennium
and Florida Mall.
Yeah, not only that, but we also had like small places like TJ Maxx, like shopping centers. So yes, I do miss that a lot. Also, if our family was in town and they wanted to go to the Disney parks, it was 40-minute drive, maybe an hour, depending on traffic, to the Disney parks. That was also fun, and having all the amenities of the big city was also fun.
Yeah, I think definitely, even for us, from occasionally we would go to Universal City Walk. That was kind of something fun to do. It definitely had a lot of those kinds of things that I think I miss. And even some of the like small restaurants that were like not as ethnic cuisine, but like Seven Bites. Mm-hmm. Oh, that place was so good. It was more like Southern style, comfort food, kind of like this mix of brunch and lunch, and it was so good. But some of those places I miss for sure. Taco China, Gringos Locos Tacos, those were so good. So there's a lot of I'm a food guy, as you could tell. There's a lot of restaurants I miss outside of the theme parks and things like that. And yeah, it was nice when family came to town that there's just so much we can do. We can go to a park, which a lot of people don't realize about Orlando. There is a lot of parks and nature and things like that you can do like right in the middle of the city. There was plenty to do on the entertainment, nightlife. One night we went out, a couple nights maybe, to downtown Orlando.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, even during the day we would go there occasionally. That was a cool scene. We went out one night, and a buddy of ours that lived there, James, shout out to you, James, if you're watching by chance, which by the way, we met a lot of people. We can get into that in a second.
That we actually miss.
Yeah, and he took us out downtown and showed us like all these different drinks that we never had before that were just so cool and good, and each bar had its different vibe, and I don't know, it was just fun. It's something big city that you're not gonna get like where we live now in Venice.
Not even in Sarasota, which is a 30 to 40 minute drive from Venice.
Yeah, and I would say Sarasota does have a little bit of those Orlando vibes in some ways, but it's not.
It's just like smaller and more compact. Like the downtown area, it's more compact than Orlando. But yes, Orlando, I think that's what we miss most of, just the big city amenities and the restaurants more than anything for you.
But what don't we miss? Let's talk a little about that, and then we can talk about maybe some of the people and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I think the only thing that we don't miss and that actually made us not like or enjoy Orlando as much is the traffic. Dealing with the traffic on the daily, like that just wasn't for us. We're from a smaller town in Wisconsin, so like being in a big city like Altamont Spring, which is in the Orlando area, it was just too much for us, where so much that a lot of times we wouldn't even want to go out and do anything because we didn't want to deal with the traffic.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think everything else about Orlando overall we really liked. I'd say the only cons it had are very similar to what we have here, and those are like your typical Florida cons that people will talk about. We'll link you in the description down below actually to a video about 10 reasons you may hate Florida. Those are some of the big things you'll want to keep in mind with Florida in general, but none of those were too big of a deterrent for us, obviously, because we're still in Florida. But yeah, it was mainly the traffic, I would say, with Orlando, and that's probably the main reason we moved, which is crazy to say, but it just was insane how like if like Disney, if you went there like during the right time of day, the right time of year, you could possibly from our place get there in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But it could go up to almost an hour.
Yeah.
So just traffic, the changes in how long it could take you to get somewhere, the stress of it because of there being so many different types of drivers, the aggressive. We talk about it on the channel all the time, so we won't beat a dead horse, but that traffic was definitely the thing that made us want to get out.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about what we do miss with people.
I feel like when we decided to move down to Venice, we were actually just starting to meet a lot of people. We ended up moving as we were starting to have friendships established, except for Jake, obviously. And I feel like James, even though we had met him a couple of months before, we still hung out with him quite a bit and talked to him because he's also a business owner. We had that in common. So even though we didn't hang out with him maybe like every day, we still like miss him.
Yeah.
Him and Jake, I feel like, and Lindsay, his wife.
And there's a couple other people we met kind of in the condo unit that we would talk to occasionally, and
other realtors that I met when I did get my license in Orlando, so like other realtors that I met that did the training with me and all that stuff. Some of them I still keep in contact with, but sometimes, you know, life gets in the way, so it's a little bit hard to like plan like to go out or something because we're so far away now. Yeah,
I think one thing that we want to reiterate is we love where we are now. We love the Venice area. And like we mentioned earlier, I think having Sarasota nearby kind of scratches some of those itches of what we miss of Orlando. It's about a 30 to 45 minute drive depending on traffic, sometimes 25 minutes. So the traffic is still somewhat of a factor here. It's just not as stressful. But a lot of the different types of cuisine that we like from Orlando, we can get in Sarasota. There's just more options for things to do and things like that. And there's still like enough for us to do. There's plenty for us to do in the Venice area.
And also with that being said, even though we left our friends that we were starting to become friends in Orlando, we've actually met a lot of good people here in Venice, and actually a lot quicker, I feel like.
Yeah, a lot more people and a lot faster.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're even close. Well, maybe not even closer, but we're very, very close, especially with like some of our neighbors.
That's because, you know, like everyone in Florida, it's pretty much not from Florida. So like we all have that in common where you're from a different state or from a different country, and you kind of like just come together because maybe you don't have as many family and friends, so that brings you close together.
Yeah, you're the new family and friends. And I think everyone kind of is interested because you're from somewhere else. Like you want to get to know like what was it like living there. Yeah. So I think that's kind of something that's fun about living here. Yes. If you want to know more about why we moved to Venice, check out this video right here.
If you're looking to move down to the Venice area, make sure to call, text, or email me. My information will be in the description box below. I hear from people every day and I love it.
Phone number is 941-221-1897. Hit the like button if you found the video helpful. Leave a comment, let us know any other questions, and we'll either respond or get to it in a future video. Subscribe and turn on all notifications, and live breezy.